Have you really been wanting to get in the habit of something and life just seems too busy and things keep getting in the way, but you really want to start and you just don't know how or where? Don't worry, I've got ya. We're going to go through actionable steps that you can take to get you moving and to get you clear on why you're not starting, how to start. This is really a do this now video, so make sure you have a notebook and make sure you're ready to get started in the change that you want right now. If not, this video is probably not for you. Hi, my name is Kiara. I am a Winter Olympian who grew up in the desert, and I'm also a mindset success coach. Hi Kiara, I'd really like some guidance on how can mindset be changed when getting into the habit of not exercising due to being busy with life and all the other multitude of excuses we use when we're not prioritizing our health. How to make a start when you haven't exercised in a while. It may make me sound old, but safe core exercises that can be done to protect our spine. I have so many issues with my back, and protecting my core is the best way to help. As I speak to so many people my age, it seems like more and more common than I thought. So we're going to use the example of getting back into health, but you can use this process for any change that you want to make in your life. We're really going to break down what it is you actually want and how to make a start. Once it's clear of exactly what you want, then it's much easier to head in the right direction rather than a vague kind of goal. So it may sound simple, but you need to assess where you are, and then you also need to assess where you want to be. Who is that person and what sort of life are they living? What is the outcome that you want to achieve? Sometimes we get in these cycles of getting stuck on what we think we want, and we've forgotten about the bigger direction in which we wanted that thing for. And so if you wanted to, say, walk every day or do core exercises every day, what is the actual outcome that you want? So you want to focus on your health. For what reason? Being able to play with the kids, being able to live actively, being able to live longer, being able to have no back pain, etc, etc, etc. What does that person have that you don't have? So once you've thought about the overall desired outcome of what you want, you need to think about who you currently are and what this person currently is doing specifically to that outcome. So if you want to be a healthier version of yourself so that you can play with your kids or so that you can go to work without any pain, what you're focusing on now is the habits and the sense of yourself right now. Sometimes this might be a bit challenging, it might be confronting, maybe not. So you want to get really specific. Think about where you are. Who is this person? What are their current behaviors? What are their current habits? What is the identity of this person? Do they believe that they're just someone that has back pain? Do they struggle with procrastination? Do they hate exercising? Do they prioritize other things that's important to it? It doesn't always have to be negative. So it says, so you could be like, I prioritize my family, I prioritize cooking, I prioritize sewing, I prioritize catching up with my friends, I prioritize going out for lunch, I prioritize having a wine. What are just the current things that you are doing? What is the current structure of that person? And then we can think about where you want to be. Who is this person? We don't want to have more or less than the other person that you're talking about, than the current version of yourself. You want to have this person is. This person is consistent. This person does what they say. This person knows that they can do hard things. Whatever it is that this person already has, because they can achieve it. So if you're struggling to put yourself in that ideal, then think of someone who already has what you want. So if you want to do an exercise regime for a certain reason, then think of someone who already does that. And what is the qualities, the identity, the beliefs, the habits of that person? So once you have got clear on the two profiles, where you are now and where you want to be, I want you to rank where you currently are from 0 to 10, 10 being optimal, of where you believe you currently are in relation to that person. So just get a sense of it. Once you kind of ranked it out of 10, then what I would like you to do is really concentrate on the person that you are now and think about the positive intention behind not going after the thing. Now, this is quite a confusing question to start with, because problems, we usually just think they're always negative, but there is a positive intention behind the behavior that you're currently doing. And so even if it's just like, I don't want to do hard thing, that's your brain's way of letting you know that that's breaking a safety loop. The brain hates change because it just wants to stay safe and it wants to stay alive. And so if you're encountering resistance, then that's a good thing, because that means that you're wanting to change and evolve and grow. And so it could just be that. It just could be, I just want to avoid the resistance or the uncomfortableness of actually getting started. Or there might be a different one, like you might be embarrassed. So then the positive intention might be to save you from embarrassment. It might just be overwhelm. You're just avoiding overwhelm to stay safe and comfortable. All of those are positive intentions, okay? So there is a reason why your brain is not wanting you to start. And you need to acknowledge that and respect it, but then decide that that's no longer. Once you've sort of worked it out and acknowledged, oh, thanks for that positive intention, but I want to move past that, I really want to get to that version of myself that I've just been talking about. You're still going to encounter the resistance or the agitation, but it makes it a little bit easier to start. If you want to check out more on why change is so hard, go and check out my other video on how to change your life in a year. Okay, so the next exercise you are going to do, and I want you to take this seriously and I want you to actually do it. So pause the video if you need to, but we're going to imagine you taking two paths. And so one path, whatever makes most sense to you, imagine two lines out in front of you. One path is going to be the path that you take no action on towards this ideal self in this area. And the other path is going to be the version of you that does take action steps towards this goal. Okay? So choose whatever makes sense, whichever, one of your lines is going to feel most comfortable for each of those ones. And what I want you to do first is I want you to get a sense of yourself in the present, and get a sense of you going into the future, making changes and making this habit. As you go through, I just want you to notice what you notice. At first, you're really going to encounter some resistance. It's going to be a pain in the butt. But I want you to keep imagining yourself going through that, forming the habit, however long it takes, moving through the first week, moving through the second week, going out into the future, a month from now, making all these, putting this routine into your day. And then get a sense, it's 2 months into the future, 3 months into the future, and at 3 months you might start to notice that this is really starting to become quite automatic for you. You really get a sense that you've locked in what you need to do, and it's just about practicing that routine over and over to build this into a habit that becomes subconscious, so you just do it automatically. And now I'd like you to go all the way out into a year into the future. And just notice what you notice a year out into the future about this person that has made this change. Really get a sense of what they feel, what they notice about their body, what they notice about the environment around them, what they notice about the sense of self, and then go another year into the future, so you're 2 years into the future, carrying on this habit, 3 years into the future. Now once you've got a sense of all that, You can go a little bit further if you want to, but 3 years is probably fine. And then come all the way back into the present. Make sure that you've really connected back with yourself in the present. And now what I'd like you to do is get a sense of this other path going off in the other direction. And I'd like you to imagine the version of you who doesn't make any changes. So this version of you is going to stay exactly the same, and it's not going to form this habit that you want to achieve. And so imagine yourself in a week's time, in 2 weeks' time, going out into the future, nothing changes. That's right, notice what's in your body. 3 weeks' time, that's right. Now at 3 weeks' time, what I'd like you to do is look across to the other timeline that you were on and look across at that person. And notice what you notice about that person who did start making the changes at 3 weeks. So look across at them. And then notice what you notice about yourself, and then keep going forward all the way up into a year. And when you're at 1 year, I want you to again look across at that person that started making that habit. Notice what you notice about them. Have a look at the differences between you and that person. And then I want you to do the same thing when you get to 2 years and when you get to 3 years. Really get a sense of what that person is like, what they feel in their body, what they feel with their environment and their sense of self. And then you can come back all the way back into the now, into the present moment. And I really want you to notice what you notice and think about it. Is this something that you want for yourself? And are you willing to go through the discomfort of making this into part of your daily life? And that's only a question you can answer. The answer might not be yes. And that's completely fine. Because, if you figured out it's not actually a problem for you, then go about your life blissfully, moving on. But really get a sense if this is something that you want to pursue or not, because change is uncomfortable and you have to want to do it to stick to it. This is the first of a little mini video series that I'm going to make. Like and subscribe if you want to follow along and see the next ones that come out. But this should at least have helped you recognize what it is that you actually want, and if you are willing to put in the work to make this change. Hopefully that was helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.